Despite bosses trying everything to get us back in the office, staff are holding on to the work from home dream. So when Susie slacked off and was sacked, the debate reignited. It also raised another red flag. Is it okay for employers to spy on us at home?
From the corporate world
You don't understand, I'm actually getting harassed.
to TikTok,
This has never happened to me before. And for what?
Susie got sacked
Like, what do you want me to do? I can't get a job.
and says her online profile is now the only way she can afford to pay her bills.
I feel that I was hard done by, and I feel that I was targeted, and they got what they wanted.
When COVID hit, Susie, like most Australians, began working from home.
During the times of COVID, I never knew what a lunch break was. I never knew what a start time or a finish time was because we were working around the clock.
Not realising her employer was also working remotely, tracking her computer to build a case against her.
It's your word over theirs with technology. Like, how do you prove your innocence?
Susie says she's been struggling with her mental health since losing 2 family members, then twins during pregnancy.
Having lost everything, the only stability I had was my job, and I didn't want to let that go.
In June last year, Insurance Australia Group, where Susie worked for 18 years, warned her to lift her game after missing deadlines and not being contactable.
I was given a formal warning about breaching code of conduct, which I took accountability for, and I apologised for doing so.
By December, she was placed on a performance plan before being sacked in February this year.
If I was such a bludger, how would I manage a job for 18 years?
IAG collected proof using keystroke technology over 49 days from October to December 2022.
I knew they could probably see when you were logged on and stuff like that, but to do monitor keystrokes and mouse movements and stuff, I didn't know about it.
The data showed Susie did not work her rostered hours for 44 of the days. Started late on 47, finished early on 29, and performed 0 hours on 4 days. It also recorded a low number of average keystrokes overall.
We don't get paid per keystroke. I didn't have a data entry role. If anything, I would be scrolling more than I'd be typing.
54 keystrokes per hour, I mean, that's not much.
I just don't believe the data was correct.
How fast do you think you type?
I'm a very quick typer. I'd say I was intermediate, if not advanced, at typing.
She took her case to the Fair Work Commission, claiming IAG had a
premeditated plan to remove me from the business. I was targeted due to my mental health issues.
She failed to convince Deputy President Thomas Roberts she was wrongfully dismissed. He found IAG had a valid reason to let Susie go.
Fired on February 20 for missing deadlines and meetings, being absent and uncontactable, and failing to complete a task which caused the industry regulator to fine IAG.
Michael Haikila used to be a digital forensic police officer.
Some of this data would be stuff that police would use.
Look, absolutely, and this is starting to go down towards some of the technology that law enforcement use on monitoring criminals.
What do you think of this technology?
Look, I think it can be quite invasive. It gives those access to this type of software quite a lot of power.
If I'm sitting at home, working from home, what can you see if you're my employer right now?
Look, essentially through software like this, we can essentially see what the user is seeing. Everything from keystrokes to what web pages the person's going to, how much time they're spent active, and even a live view of their screen.
A live view, so you can see it as I'm doing it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So if I bring up the live view option here, I can see exactly what's on the screen on this particular computer.
And as they do this real time, they don't need to get my permission?
That's right. So this is running completely in the background. The user's unaware that we're viewing this.
Ahmed Kanji owns Australian cybersecurity company Gridware.
I think, of course, there are definitely privacy implications. It really comes down to the employment contract. There's certainly a lot of ethical and privacy implications in doing so.
Would you do it?
Absolutely not, yeah.
Why not?
I think employee monitoring is definitely is a bit of an ethical dilemma, but definitely I think the cons certainly outweigh any potential benefit. I think it will just build a lot of mistrust in the workplace.
Susie says she's now on welfare and has started the search for a new job, even spruiking her demands on radio.
I expect a salary of over 100K. A company laptop and phone is a must. A company car as well would be ideal.
Whatever you're working on, track it. As much as it may seem tedious, you need to make notes. Diarise what you're doing every day. That 5-10 minutes may save your job.
You know, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? If you think your boss is spying on you, I'd say it is best to check your contract.